Jon Jones will be making his long-awaited heavyweight debut at UFC 285 against who many consider the future of the heavyweight division, Ciryl Gane. Not only will Jon Jones attempt to become a two-division champion, but a win could solidify his GOAT status. While for Gane, the best way to become a legend is to take out one. So let's break down this epic heavyweight showdown and see who will win between Jon Jones and Ciryl Gane. Jon Bones Jones is on the short list of being the greatest fighter of all time. He holds a record of 28 wins and 1 defeat, but most fans agree that loss shouldn't be on Jones's record. So in many ways, Jones has never lost a fight in his career. His list of accomplishments is way too long to cover properly, so we will give you guys the Cliff Notes version.
The undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion.
He is a 2-time light heavyweight champion with a total of 11 successful title defenses. His title reign lasted over 1,500 days, making him the longest reigning light heavyweight champion in UFC history. He also holds the record for the longest unbeaten win streak at 18, but as we said, it really should be 22 in the UFC. He also has the record for the most wins in a UFC title fight and is tied for the most successful title defenses in UFC history. Jones is also the youngest UFC champion of all time, as he won the belt when he was just 23 years old.
Jones is the youngest champion in UFC history!
It will be well over 3 years since the last time Jon Jones stepped foot inside a UFC octagon. His last fight came on February 8, 2020 against Dominic Reyes. Many fans saw a different version of Jones that night, and there was a strong argument that Reyes had outscored Jones to a decision. But ultimately, Jones was given the nod by the judges. So the last impression that fans have of Jones wasn't a great one. But despite that, 16 of his 26 wins have come via knockout or submission. And if you add Jones's fight IQ, wrestling ability, and his distance management, you have the recipe of one of the greatest to ever do it. So far, no one has been able to figure out the Jon Jones puzzle definitively. So Ciryl Gane will have his hands full come fight night. But if there is anyone who can finally crack the code, it could be Bon Gaiman. Fighting out of Paris, France, Ciryl Gane has exploded onto the MMA scene in just a couple of years. He made his UFC debut in 2019 and is now regarded as the best heavyweight on the roster. He brings to the octagon an array of stand-up skills, high fight IQ, and incredible movement and footwork. This is why for the longest time, Gane was undefeated in the octagon. Before he ran into Francis Ngannou, Gane was on a 7-fight win streak, which included wins over the likes of Junior Dos Santos, Alexander Volkov, and Derek Lewis. Not only was Gane winning, but he was doing so effortlessly, as in most of these fights, he rarely took a clean shot. But that winning streak came to an end when the knockout artist Ngannou decided to show a new wrinkle to his game and out-wrestled Gane to a decision. Since then, Gane has bounced back masterfully. He headlined UFC's first ever event in Paris, where he took on the ever-dangerous Tai Tuivasa. Although Tuivasa rocked Gane for the first time in his career, Gane was able to bounce back from the brief scare and demolish Tuivasa on the feet with crushing body kicks and amazing punching combinations. He stopped Tuivasa in the 3rd round. His performance was so masterful that he earned another crack at the heavyweight title. But in order to get his hands on the UFC gold, he will have to do something that has never been done before: decisively beat Jon Jones. So let's take a deeper look into these two men's skill sets and see who has the advantage where. When it comes to striking, both men are very versatile with their weapons. Jones and Gane mix their techniques fluidly and can go from traditional jabs and straights to incorporating elbows and knees and even spinning attacks. One of Jones's biggest weapons on the feet has been his incredible reach. The 84-inch reach has given every opponent problems, especially because Jones knows how to use it properly to control the distance. His reach is a big reason why he lands 4.3 shots per minute with 57% accuracy, while only absorbing 2.2 strikes in return. However, Gane has shown some incredible skills on his feet. He absorbs an equal amount of strikes to Jon Jones, but dishes out a staggering 5.11 shots per minute, on a slightly better accuracy rate than Jones too. Prior to diving into MMA, Gane spent years training and competing in Muay Thai, so it is not surprising to see him stand against some of the most dangerous heavyweight strikers like Ngannou, Tuivasa, and Derek Lewis, and beat them at their own game. Jones is also known for beating guys at their own game, as he has successfully defeated the likes of Machida, Teixeira, and Gustafsson in largely stand-up affairs. However, we're still going to give the striking edge to Gane, mainly because the last couple of stand-up performances by Jones really weren't all that impressive. Guys like Dominic Reyes and Thiago Santos more than held their own in the stand-up department against Bones, and we see Gane doing even better than they did. But let's see who has the edge in grappling. When it comes to wrestling, Jon Jones has dominated almost everyone he has ever fought. He has an unbelievable 95% takedown defense, which is even more impressive seeing that Daniel Cormier, a former Olympic wrestler, struggled to take Jones down. Now, it is unlikely that Gane will initiate any grappling, so the takedown defense may not be that big of a factor. Gane averages a below average 0.62 takedowns per 15 minutes and only has a 21% takedown accuracy rate, while Jon Jones brings with him a 44% takedown accuracy rate and tends to take his opponents down almost twice per 15 minutes. The grappling realm will be a concern for Gane, as his sole loss came at the hands of Francis Ngannou, who out-wrestled Gane quite easily. Gane even struggled to get back to his feet once he was taken down. And no disrespect to the monster Ngannou, but he is a far cry from a wrestler. On the other hand, Jon Jones has showcased a wrestling game and top pressure as good as anyone in MMA. So the grappling edge lies with Bones on this one. But there are other factors that can tilt a fight. So let's take a look at the X factors for each superstar. The X factor for both guys is pretty clear cut. For Jon Jones, it has to be ring rust and how he'll carry the extra weight. This will be Jones's first fight at heavyweight, and we often see fighters' cardio struggle because they aren't used to carrying the extra pounds. But Jones has taken his time to adjust to his new frame, but that is also concerning. Being out of the game for over 3 years could affect his timing and reflexes on game day. While for Gane, the X factor has to be his wrestling defense. It seems obvious that Jones will test the big man's grappling skills, and if Gane can keep the fight standing, he's likely to have a lot of success with his strikes. Jones in the past has struggled against fighters who are close to his reach, and Gane has an 81-inch reach himself. Prediction: for the second time in his UFC career, Jon Jones will enter a fight as the betting underdog. The odds have him at plus 100, while Gane is favored with a minus 120 line. So even the bookies see the fight being extremely close. As for our prediction, it is tough to bet against Jon Jones, but we also don't know what Jones will look like. It is unknown that makes it difficult to really pick the winner. But we have to favor the more active guy who is entering his prime years in Ciryl Gane. Gane could very well outpoint Jon Jones on his way to becoming an official UFC heavyweight champion and spoiling Jones's return. Now, if you enjoyed this video, then please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the little bell beside it so that you're notified the next time we upload a new video. And with that being said, you just watched us break down the upcoming heavyweight title fight between Jon Jones and Ciryl Gane. We'll see you next time.